I welcome you all to my next lecture of online OSHA training. On our previous lecture, we have discussed fire and different types of fires and some of the emergency procedures relating to fire. Today, we are going to discuss extinguishers. Why we are discussing extinguishers? Because it's linked with fire. Fire and extinguishers are a topic which are related to each other. Initially, I was thinking to discuss two of them in a combinedly in a one video, but then I thought that it will confuse you, so that's why I'm making a separate video about extinguishers. But first of all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it. There is a button where you can like my video. You can also share it with your friends. You can do a valuable comment. It will actually motivate me, and I will get a response that you are happy with my videos and you are getting some knowledge. So right now I don't know that if people are happy with my knowledge or not. So please give me a response. I'll be really happy, and I will really bring some more videos for you, and I will share all my knowledge regarding safety management. So it will motivate me. So please do subscribe and share with your friends. So, extinguishers. Our today topic is basically extinguishers. You should not confuse yourself. It's really a clear cut topic and the idea is very clear, but you just need to know a few things. So, today lecture outline is basically what is fire extinguisher. We first get to know about what is fire extinguisher, why we need it, for what purpose it is. This is the main goal of this bullet. Our next point is different kinds of fire extinguisher. You have to know about this, that there is no single type of fire extinguisher, but there are many more. And why there are many more, there is a logic behind it. And lastly, we will get to know about how to use a fire extinguisher, because it's really important when you are working in a company or in an industry as a safety officer or line manager, or for example you are a person who will deal with fire. So in that case, you should need to know about the concept of how to use a fire extinguisher, because if you do not know about it, you cannot use it. It is placed and put on different places in a building or industry, but you have to know about its usage. You have to know the method, a proper method. We will specifically discuss a method by the name of pass name. Pass method will be used in order to use fire extinguishers. So in this lecture, you will get the clear concept about fire extinguishers. What are fire extinguishers? What are some different kinds of fire extinguishers? Why we use them? What's its purpose? And how we can use them? After watching this lecture, you will not need to know any other thing about fire extinguishers. You will get to know that how we can use it. It will really help you wherever you are, whatever place you are. It will really help you if you know about how to use fire extinguisher, because our common men do not know how to use it. So it's really important if you are up to safety management system. So our first point is, what is a fire extinguisher? So let me tell you a standard definition. Fire extinguisher is a portable or handheld device that discharges a jet of water, gas, foam, or other material. For what purpose? To remove small fire or reduce their destruction before firefighters arrived at the emergency point. This is really a standard definition of fire extinguisher. People will tell you different kind of definitions, but it will not get you clear about its purpose. Let me tell you and explain it to you. It is basically a portable device. What do we mean by portable device? Portable device is the one which we can carry in hand, which we can carry with ourselves. It is like laptop. You can carry it, and you can take it with yourself. So it's a handheld device or portable device that discharge a jet of water. It releases either water. That is here the concept of different types of extinguishers. There are some of the extinguishers who releases gas. There are some of the extinguishers which are used for removing fire occur due to gas. There are some of the extinguishers which are used for removing fire from other materials. It is a portable device that can discharge or eject water, either gas or foam. Foam mean bubbles or other material used to remove small fire. Remember that extinguisher can't control big fire. It can only vanish or remove small fire, which is in the incipient stage. Initial stages of fire can be removed from fire extinguisher. or remove their destruction before firefighters arrive at the emergency point. So now the question arises that if there are firefighters available to vanish fire, why we use fire extinguishers? In the initial stage of fire can be controlled with fire extinguisher and a big destruction can be avoided. So in that case, we do not need firefighters. You can also limit it, control it up till when the firefighters arrived. So they are basically used to control the fire, small level of fire. When the fire gets increased, then it can't be controlled with fire extinguishers, then it will be controlled by firefighters. The second point is they are kept handy at places, namely fire points in different buildings, factories, or other public areas. What does it mean? In different industries, in different buildings, they are basically kept placed in walls or different fire points. Workers are known to this fact that they are basically extinguishers and they are placed in walls and different points. If there is an emergency situation and a fire occurs, in that case, specific workers will use extinguishers and will try to vanish it. It is basically placed in different areas of a building. Now let's jump to our second point, which is types of fire extinguishers. That what are some of the types of fire extinguishers? So there are basically four types of fire extinguishers. So on what depend the number and types of fire extinguishers? So the number and types of fire extinguisher legally required for an area are governed by the safety regulation in force in that specific area. This means that whatever the safety regulation authority is, either it is OSHA or it is something else, the regulation will basically decide about the specific industry or working area, that how many fire extinguishers the area required or what type of fire extinguisher the area required. For example, if there is a big chance of fire occurring in an industry and there are chances that the fire may be more in specific area or industry, in that case a safety regulation authority will decide that the industry really required a huge number of fire extinguisher, and they will also decide that what type of fire extinguisher basically the area required. If there is an industry where there are less chances of fire, then in that case there will not be more fire extinguishers required. So who will decide this? A safety regulation authority will basically decide this thing, and well, after a specific planning they will implement and ask the industry to do this thing. So it is a proper planning by safety regulation system. So the four most common extinguishers are basically all purpose water, the next one is carbon dioxide, the third one is multi-purpose dry chemical, and the fourth one is dry powder. Now the question arises that why we use four types of fire extinguishers. Then you should know the clear concept that there are some fire which cannot be removed by some fire extinguishers, but there are some fire which can be removed with other types of fire extinguishers. Now the next question arises that why it is that? Because of the reason that there are some chemicals or materials through which when the fire occurred or created, in that case there are some other chemicals from fire extinguishers which can only remove this fire and other fire extinguishers chemical can't remove them. Remember, like for example in chemistry, in chemical industry, there are some chemicals which can be removed with other chemicals but not some other. The counter chemicals are required to remove the fire. If the fire is created from, let's suppose, plastic, then there would be a specific chemical required in a specific fire extinguisher which can only remove that fire and not the other one. They are divided in four types. One is all-purpose water, which contain water, just water. The next extinguisher is of carbon dioxide, which contain carbon dioxide gas and can remove fire occurred from specific type of chemicals. The third one is multi-purpose dry chemical. Actually, the multi-purpose dry chemical extinguisher is used to remove any kind of fire, so it is a multi-purpose. And dry powder is another kind of fire extinguisher which contain dry powder. So every extinguisher has its specific role against fire, and a worker or a person who control this thing will use specific fire extinguisher for this kind of thing. So a worker must know the clear concept that at what situation I should use what kind of fire extinguisher. Let us discuss the first kind of fire extinguisher, all-purpose water. It contains water and it can be used on class A fire. So we have in our previous lecture we have discussed that class A fire basically contain wood, paper, cloth and trash. Now what does it mean? It means that if the fire has occurred from wood or paper or cloth or trash, any other trash material, if fire has occurred from these four materials, in that case we should use all-purpose water. extinguisher. So all purpose fire extinguishers are shown below in the picture, and in that case you can see that it has a gauge. A gauge means that you will get to know the measurement, a visual display that how much water it contains, and it will be displayed on the fire extinguisher. It basically contains the pressurized water. The water is in the pressurized form. When you use them, a pressurized water will be released from the fire extinguisher. Now how will you know that it is all purpose water? So it will be written on it, that it is a all purpose water extinguisher, and it will have a gauge. Gauge means that you will get to know about that how much water it contains. It will have a measurement written on it. The next type of extinguisher is basically carbon dioxide extinguisher, and it can be used on class B and class C fires. So remember that in class B there are flammable liquids, oil, gas, and grease, and in class C fires there are, like for example, for electrical equipments. So now what does it mean? It means that if, for example, in an industry fire has occurred due to flammable liquids or any other oil, petrol oil or whatever oil it is, or it has occurred from gas, or suppose it has occurred from grease, let's suppose the fire has occurred from these four materials. So in that case, we will use carbon dioxide extinguisher. And if let's suppose there is a fire occurred from electrical equipment or devices, or there is, or for example, a fire has occurred from electrical stuff, for example wires or these kind of things, some fire has occurred, in that case you will use carbon dioxide extinguisher. And remember that carbon dioxide extinguisher do not contain any gauge, so you will not be able to know about that how much content it contained. It will have no measurement, but you can use it to remove fire occurred from flammable liquids, oil, gas, grease, and electrical equipment. It basically contains hard plastic, a nozzle, a type of nozzle at the top, and you can use it to remove class B and class C fires. So on it, it will be written clearly that it is carbon dioxide extinguisher. So in that case, for example, you cannot use carbon dioxide extinguishers to control fire occur from plastic. So now you cannot use carbon dioxide extinguishers to control fire occur from wood, paper, cloth, and trash, because it can only remove flammable liquids, because it can only remove fire which occurred due to flammable liquids, oil, gas, grease, and electrical equipments. Now the third one, which is multi-purpose dry chemical. This is a type of extinguisher which contains dry chemical inside it. It have a gauge. You will get to know that how much of dry chemical it contains. So in that case, we can use multi-purpose dry chemical when we want to vanish fire occur from class A, class B, and class C. So it will work on all kind of fires and will vanish it or remove it. It basically contains fine powder under pressure. Like when you release it, it will be released with pressure. It contains basically pressure gauge. The powder form will be released with pressure. The next question arises that how we can use fire extinguishers. So in that case, there is a method by the name of P.A.S. P.A.S.S. P.A.S. method. P.A.S. method is a method which will let you know how to use fire extinguisher. So in P.A.S. method, the first P stands for pull the pen. You can see that on the right side of the picture that there is a head of extinguisher. When you pull this pin upside, so it will enable you to squeeze it and release something. Like for example, when you haven't pulled the pen, in that case you cannot press that handle. You will not be able to press that handle until you pull the pen. When you pull the pen, it will make you open it. So when it's opened, you will be able to squeeze it or press it. So first you need to pull the pen. It's really clear. Don't confuse yourself. Just pull the pen. For example, opening anything. For example, if you want to take any cold drink, in that case we open its head. So this is the case with extinguisher. Like we pull the pen, we open it. So it's enable us to press it or squeeze it. In P.A.S. method, A means aim at the base of water. What does it mean? When you take the extinguishers and place it on fire, don't put it in the middle or on its top, because the agent, whatever agent the extinguisher contain, it will be passed through the flames of fire and will not vanish or remove it. So you have just to aim at the base of the water, like on the sides. Aiming at the middle will not do good. It will not remove the fire. the agent from the extinguisher will pass through the flames. Remember that you have to aim at the bases, like on the sides. In that case, the fire will be removed. The third point is S. So S means squeeze the handle. Just press the handle. You can see on the right side of the picture two arrows, one arrow from upside and one from downside. Just make sure that place it in the hand and just press it or squeeze it. So when you squeeze it, so the agent will be removed out with pressure, and you will place it at the base of the fire and fire will be removed. So you have to squeeze it, and this will release the pressurized extinguishing agent. The last point in the pass method is sweep side to side. Like you have to sweep and squeeze side by side, not in the middle. So do cover the entire area that is on fire. All the area bases, you must have to cover all the area which have the fire, but you have to aim or target the bases. Do continue until fire get extinguished. You have to continue until the small fire extinguished. Remember, not the big one, because in that case, firefighters are required. Do check the area which may show relighting. There are some cases you may have seen that somewhere fire has occurred and people have basically removed the fire through water or any other agent, and in that case, in the last little fire has remained. So in that case, you have to be careful about it, because in an industry this small fire can re-emerge and can increase again. So do check those area which may show relighting or little fire and remove them as well. So guys, this was about fire extinguishers. Hope you will like it, and if you have any query or confusion about it, then you can ask me in a comment section. I will try to reply you in detail. Whatever question you have, then please ask me, and please like and subscribe our channel. It's really motivate me, and I will do it until Nebosh. Maybe after Nebosh I will switch to some another higher level course, but first we will cover OSHA, then IOSH, then Nebosh, IGC1 and IGC2. After that I will think, if people are interested, I will bring some advanced course in safety management system. So hope it helps you a lot. Take care and bye for now.